Welcome to MacroCode. If you are new to this channel, consider subscribing. So today we are going to continue with our series on .NET MAUI. So as you can see, we have done a video about how to create an add an employee on the app. So you can see we have a data grid for our employee. We have a form, add new employee, where we can be able to key the first name, middle name, last name, email address, date of birth, and even save the data. So once we save the data, we are able to see this data on a data grid. So what we want to do today is to be able to manipulate some of these forms. So this employee form, I want us to add a cascading drop-down list. Remember we had added countries, so we have a list of countries. Then the countries, we have also the constituencies that are tied to a country. So when you add a constituency, you actually select a country, then you add the constituency code and the constituency name. So also the locations, when you add the locations, when you click new, you select the constituency, you save you put in the code and the name, then you save. The same way applies to sublocation. We actually tie them to a location. So today we are going to do something interesting. As you can see, we have the countries, constituencies, location, sublocations, and the villages. So these geolocations are actually tied to each other. So when you come to our table, you can see the countries. We have the ID, which is auto-incremental, the code name. But when we come to constituency, we actually require the country ID, the code, and the name. When we come to the location, we also require the constituency ID, then the code and the location name. Then when we come to sub-location, we require the location. And finally, the village, we require the sub-location. So we want now to, when we are adding an employee, we have a cascading drop-down list. So what we'll do, we'll come to a list of employees. So this is our list of employees here. So as you can see, then we have our add new employee page. So this is our add new employee page. So as you can see, we have the employee name, first name, middle name, last name, email address, and date of birth. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a drop down for our country. So let me just copy what we had done under constituencies. So I want us to collect the picker. So I'll just, sorry, my machine is a bit slow. So this is the picker. So I'm going to select this one. Then so I can zoom so that you can be able to see. Then on our add employee, I'm going to add this. So as you can see, this is the country name, then the countries, then the countries list, then we have to select the country and the name. Then once we select the country, I want us to select the constituencies that are tied to the country that the user will be selecting. So we'll say select, this is the constituency name, then this is constituency. So because we already have this drop down, I'm going to copy them from the add. So for the constituencies, we are copying them from we have tied them under the location. So when we come to add new location, we'll be able to see the constituency. So let's copy that. Come to our add employee. I will replace with this. So as you can see, guys, we have now our two drop-down lists. The first one is the country, and the second one is the constituency. So let me still zoom this so that you can be able to see. So the next one is our location. So I'll copy that. Then I can copy the location under sub-locations. We were tying this to our sub-locations. So you can see this is the picker. So I'll copy that, come to our add new employee. Then I'll paste my sub-location. So you can see the location name. Then here, we should actually have a label. At the top here should be constituency name. So then the next thing is the sub-location. After we have selected the sub location, we need to select the location. So I'll just copy this, paste it here. Then for the sub location, we have it under the villages. So I'll just copy this. Then the drop down, I'll copy this, come to our add employee, then I'll paste the add employee picker. So this is the sub location. So after we have, so you can see our cascading list will be select the country, then you select the constituency, then the location, the sub locations, and finally the village. So for the village, you are going just to load the villages also that are tied to that sub location. So this will be village name. Then here it says select village. So the best thing now, after we have done this, we need to add, so let me stop the app. We need to add the collections list on our add employee model. So you can see on our add employees.xaml.cs. So we had injected this. Then as you can see, we are using add employee view model. So let's go and define some of them. So I'll just navigate to our add employee view model. So this is how our view model looks like. So remember we had done this before. So what I'm going to do now, so let me even, I want to change this to adopt what our new structure. This was, we had done this before. So I'll just modify some things. So local based view model to follow what we had done. So I also do away with this. Then I'll do away with this. So I'll do away with this. Then I'll also do away with this. So then this one, this was to add. So I'll just copy. So I'll just copy this. Come here, and I say employee details. Then I'll say get set. Then I can now instantiate it in our. So I'll say this is equals to new employee. So that is it. Then I can do away with this. So that is how you save the data. Then here I'll just remove this, and I'll say here variable emp data is equals to. So I'm just modifying this because we had done something. So then I'll do that. Then I'll say, I'll just get away this. Then we'll say app dot database dot create sync. Then we add our data. So this will actually save the employee data. So as you can see, this is how you save the employee data. So this one will add the employee, but now that was not our main thing for today. So we were just modifying this, but I'm sure you have learned something there. So what we want to do now is we want to load our list of countries. So we'll come to constituencies. We had defined the countries. So I'm going to do something here. So I'll just copy this. Then come to our add employee. I want us inside the constructor. I want us to paste this. So as you can see, this is the list of constituencies. So I want us to load it to, we have an observable collection. We need to define it and add new employee. So this is the observable collection for the constituencies. So I want us to just do this. So let's see. We have the add new constituency. I think this is what we should be able to do. So load constituencies, let's see, for the add new constituency. So this is the constituencies list. So let me do something. So what you are going to do, I want us to do to pre-populate the list of countries and the constituencies that the employee is selecting. But before that, let's come to add new employee. So I want us to define something. So here I want us to say public observable, this should be observable range collection. Then here we pass in, let's load the constituencies. So we can do away with this. So I want us to load the constituency here. Then we say load constituencies. Then we do this, then press enter. Then at the top here, I want us to define something. So I want us to define, come at the top here, say public observable. So say observable, observable. Let me just copy instead of typing. Sorry, I don't know why my screen is freezing. Can bear with me. So I'll just copy this. Then after that, I want us to define something. So what we'll need to do, we'll say here constituency. Then I don't want to do this. I'll say is equals to new observable range collection. Then I'll put in the constituency again. Then at the end, I'll do this. So I'll instantiate that. But before that, I need to define the name here. So I'll say added. So I'll put in a small added. Let's just call these all constituencies. So after you have done that, copy this, then come down here. You say get, then we assign it our all constituencies, comma, then set. You set all constituencies, but now here we say set property. Say set property. So I'll show you, sorry, ref. Then we can say, we copy this, then inside here, then we say value. So we can do that. Then, so our set property is not defining. So what we need to do, let's define it on our base, on our local. Here, come to this class. Then inside here, I want us to define something. So I want us to define, say protected bool. Then we say set property, set property. Then we pass the model. Then we say ref. Then we say backing store. Say t value, comma. Can do that. Call member string property. Then here we can have it as empty. Then you can remove this. We'll just enter that. Then here we can say comma. Then you can say action change, action on change. Say on. action on change, this one, then we say goes to null, then we do that, then inside here we say if equality, so we say equality compare is that, then we say comma default, this should be default dot equals, then backpaste, so I'll just copy this, then we say here now value, then we can close this, then we return value. Then you say backing store is equals to value, then on change invoke, so I want us to do that, then on property change, then we say property name, then we return the value. So let's see, so this should be returned true. So let's see what is the issue now. So this should be returned false here, then say the ref, this should be T, just do that. So this is how we define our set property. So ensure you have done this. So we have defined this class. You remember this location based view. So this is where we are inheriting from all our view models. So if you have not done that, please do, so that we can be able to catch up. So when we come now to our add employee view model, you can see our observable collection now. Set property is working as expected. So what we need to do now, on our load constituencies, we need to load the list of constituencies to this observable collection. So what we do, we'll just come to our constructor here. After we have loaded all the constituencies, remember these will give us the list of all the constituencies. So we'll say here, load constituencies dot add range, then we say all constituencies. So this will load all the constituencies. So that is fine. So we have actually done very good there. So what we can do now, we can pre-populate this and now say all countries, all countries, then here should be country, then copy this, paste it here, then we can now replicate this. So we'll just copy this, paste it here, then we change the model, we say country. So we have actually done the bigger part of it, so we'll be just changing here and replacing, so come at the top also, copy this, you zoom a bit that way, then here you say country, then you say all countries, then you replace this here, then you copy these all countries, you replace it with this one, then these are now our all countries. So you'll say load countries, you replace with this one, then you come here, you add it to our all countries. We also want to load our locations, so we'll just copy this as well. So here we say locations, then we say load locations, Then we copy this as well at the top here. Then you say locations. Then these should be all locations. Then copy these, paste it here. Then come here and this one. Then replace it here and here. Then now we need to load our locations. So here you'll say this is all locations. Then this should be locations table. Then this should be, then we'll have to add all. So actually this will be now getting all the list of the locations and adding them to our observable range collection. So we can do the same for our country, the sub locations. Sub location. So you'll say here load all, load sub locations. Then come at the top, copy that, paste it here. You say sub location, all sub location, all sub location. Then this is sub location. Then copy this, come here, replace it here and here. Then load our sub location. So you'll copy that and come it, add it here. Then you'll say load sub locations. This is all sub locations. Then you'll say this, you need to add it here. Then we are getting the list of sub locations from the table. Sub locations. I'm sure if you are new to this channel, you are wondering how we are getting the table rows. So we defined this function some time back. So you can consider watching some of our previous videos to get to understand how we actually reached here. So after the sub locations, we need now to define our villages. So we'll just do that. Then we'll say this is a villages. So then we'll say load village. Then we'll come at the top here. Then we'll say village. Then this will be all villages. Then this is our village. Then come to, this should be all. Then copy that, come and replace it here and here. Then load these, come and place them here. So these should be villages, sorry. Then load the village here. Then say all villages. Then you should actually get and add them here. Then we replace with the village. So for those who are new, maybe I can just give you a glance of our get table rows. So if we go to definition. So this is how our get table rows look like. It's actually generic. So we pass the table name and we are able to get the data from our table. Then you can see how we have actually done a connection. We have 5 tables, as you can see, and this is our database, how we have defined. So this is how we are connecting to our SQLite table. Then you can see the create function. So we'll be doing even the update, delete functions here. So stay posted, and we are going to actually proceed with this video as you all recommended. So as you can see, we have now loaded the villages, all the villages, the sub-locations, the locations, the country, and the constituencies. So to start with, I'm going to now load constituency will be our source. So come to our add employee. For the constituency, you can see we have the picker for the country and we have the picker for the constituency. Now the item source for this will be load constituency. Then the item source for the country will be load countries. So I'll actually replace with it. Then the item source for location will be load locations, because it will be holding all the list of our locations. Then sub-locations will be this one. So we'll actually have it here. Then our villages. So our villages will be load village. So you can actually call villages. I'll replace that. So here will be load villages. So we have actually defined now the item source. So For the binding, the selected item, we have the select country. So I'll just copy what we had done on add new constituency. So the select country, this is how you should actually define it. So I'll just copy this, come to our add employee, and I'll define it at the bottom here. So you can see we have, so this is actually will give us the selected item. I mean the country that has been selected. So we'll just copy. So ensure you have defined it this way. Then come to our country. Come to our add employee. You can see this is our selected item. And the display name is the name of the country. So for the constituency, we'll actually copy this. Then we can replace it with the constituency. So we'll say constituency. So this will give us the selected constituency. So when a user selects, we are able to know that this is the constituency that the user has selected, and we can do anything with it now. So we can now upgrade this. So I'll just copy that, then I'll remove this. So then I'll say caps. So this is selected constituency. So I'll copy that, then under add employee, I'll have that as my selected item. Then the load locations also, I'll do the same, just copy this. Then I'll do that. These will be locations. Then I'll say selected location. Then I'll copy this, paste it here, here, here. Then this will be selected location. So that is it. Then this should be locations. So I'll copy this, sorry. I'll copy this. Then come to our add employee. Then this is our location. Then the location name is that. Then sublocation, we can do the same. So this is actually to get the item that has been selected. So this is a sub location. So I'll say selected sub location, location, then copy that, paste it here, here, here. Then I'll do that, Then this is selected sub location. Is there anything that we are missing? So it already contained, this should be sub location, sorry. So I'll just paste it here. Then I'll say selected sub location. So I'll come to our add employee. Then that will be our selected item. So for the villages, this is our villages, then selected village. So we'll do the same for our selected village. So I'll just paste it here. So I'll say village. Sorry. Our app is village. That is it. So I'll say selected village. Then I'll come here, then I'll paste it here, here, and here. And this is the selected village. So then we'll now pick this and have it here. Selected village. So guys, if I can tell you now we are complete. So you can see we have our drop down for the village, drop down for the sublocation, drop down for the locations, the constituencies, and the country. So this is how the geolocations are actually arranged. So if we just launch our app, let's see. So let me take you also through what we have done. So this is our view model, how it looks like now. So you can see inside the constructor, we have all this. We have the data already pre-populated and loaded to our observable range collection so that you're able to actually bind them to our views. Then we have the selected country constituency. This is actually to let us pick the item that the user has actually selected. So if we just launch our app, we should be able to see all those data in our form. So if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing and watching our previous videos so that you can be able to help us reach more people. So we have noticed that almost 90% of you guys are watching our videos and you are not subscribing. So if you are one of them, then you are not doing good. Please subscribe so that you can be able to help us. So if we just click new employee, you can see, sorry, I think there is something we have done. Which form have we added? So let's see here. So this is our add update. So let me see something, if everything is okay. Yes, I think let me see. Can actually do away with, let me just leave it as it is. And you can say, let me launch again. Which list, let's see the employees list, see where our list is being taken, add employee. So this is the form. So I think then everything should be fine. So let's see how our app will launch. Let me even go to the add view model, then place a breakpoint here so that you can be able to see. So our app should be able to launch, and you should be able to get the data that we have. So as you can see, our app is launching. So there it is. So if we click new, let's see if it will hit our breakpoint. Let me just stop this. I think there's something. Let me try to build our app. Let's see if everything is running well. Let's see. So if you are new to this channel, consider subscribing so that you keep us motivated on doing these videos. And if you feel this video is good, guys, comment down below and give your comments and suggestions on our next series. So we'll be doing a 30-day series of .NET MAUI, and today we are on date 9, and our app is already coming up very well. So I'm sure by the end of the 30 days, guys, we'll have completely done a full mobile app with you guys. So if you have any comments, please suggest down there so that you can be able to incorporate it in our next 30 days of .NET MAUI. So our app is launching. Can wait. So if we click new, you can see it is now there. Our constituencies, you can see it has loaded a 0, so we don't have any constituency. It has actually loaded 8, so we have 8 constituencies. Sorry. So then our countries, we can load it. We have 9 countries, as you can see. So if we just continue, we are expecting our app to give us the drop downs. You can see we have the country name, the constituency name, location name, sublocation name, village name, first name, middle name, last name, email address, and the date of birth. So if I select the country, you can see I can be able to select Kenya, then constituency Nairobi, then you can be able to see the sublocation, then the village. So, but now this is giving us all the data. You can see all the data, but I want us to do something. When we have the country name, constituency name, location name, and the sublocation name, and then the village name, based on normalization, what we should be able to do, we should be able to save the village ID. So on our employees app, on our employees table, I'll go to our employees table. And as you can see, I only have the first name, middle name, last name, email address, and the date of birth. So I want us to know the village of the employee. So what we are going to do, I'll just add another field. Then I'll say this is an int, and it is actually getting data from, this is actually, we should be able to say village ID. So I'll be saving the village ID on our employees table. So if I just run our app, we should not be able to receive any any issues. So our app should be able to launch and actually instantiate and create these fields. So let's see. So you can see we should be able to add new employee. So if I click continue, then our app should be able to load. You can see we are still be able to select the countries. But now I want us, when you select the country, it should be able to filter the constituencies that are tied to that country. Remember our tables, the constituencies is tied to a country, the location is tied to a constituency, the sublocations is tied to a location ID, and the village is tied to a sublocation. So let's now come to our view model. So what we are going to do, we are going to come on our add. So we have loaded all the constituencies, the countries, the locations, the sublocations, and the villages. So whenever a person or an employee selects a country, so what we want to do is whenever you select a country, we want to filter the countries that you have selected based on the constituencies that you have. So whenever you select a country, then we load the constituencies that are tied to that country to your view so that you can be able to see the available constituencies in that country. So what we are going to do is this. So we'll come here and we say if, so we say if this one, select country, is not equal to null, this has not been selected. If the country has not been selected, if a country has not been selected, then what we need to do, just do that. Then we say we want to load the constituencies. Remember, the constituencies is already loaded here. Where is it? Here. So we'll come to our selected country. Then we are going to clear. We are going to actually filter, not to clear. We are going to come and say, we can have another variable here and we say country constituencies is equals to, we get the list of the constituencies that we had loaded. Then we say where we want to filter based on our country that the user has selected. Then we say where the x dot country ID, remember the constituencies as the country ID, is equals to our selected country dot ID. So once we have done that, what we need to do is to say load constituency, load constituencies dot add range. So the add range will actually replace everything that is there with the new list. So it will actually give us the new list. So this is what it should happen. So whenever we select, we should be able to get only the constituencies that we had done. So let's launch our app and see. So we can actually have a breakpoint here so that we are able to see. So our app is launching. So you can see if I click new, before we even select a country, you can see the country is not being, the filter is not applying because you have not selected anything. But before we select the country, let's see the constituencies that are there. You can see Tanzania, Nairobi, Southwest, Randin, Korosiot, Kwanza, Rwanda, and DRC. They're actually like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But before that, you see there are 8 constituencies. But when I select, when I come to the countries and just pick Kenya, you see it has actually hit our breakpoint. What is the list of our countries? So our constituencies, you have the filter here, which is the country that has been selected. You can see it is Kenya. So if we proceed, let me just step. something went wrong. Your app has entered a breakpoint. There is no code to show. So let's see what is wrong there. So our add constituencies. So we can actually do this. We can say this dot clear. We can actually clear everything that is there. Then we add. Let's try something. We see what's wrong with our app. Let's see all the. So these constituencies. Okay, I've seen. So actually here we should be able to have these as a list. To list. Let's see that. Yes. So that should be the case. Yes. So you should be able to have. So you can actually, whenever a country is selected. No. I've done something wrong there. We should not be able to clear this. Don't. Actually, this is a mistake. We should not be able to clear because we'll have our constituencies here blank. So it should be able to filter based on what we had loaded. So let's do that. So let's load and see. So if we click new, if I select Kenya, you can see if I just step how many constituencies, you can see it is only one. So if I just proceed, our app will load. If I come to constituency and select, I should be able to get the list of Nairobi. But now, what is happening is, if you come to our constituencies here, it is actually still inside our view model, our constructor. So what we can do, we can actually do away with this. Just comment this. Then I can show you something. So before loading the constituencies, we need to load the countries, then we filter based on that. So we can copy that and have them here. So I'll just come here and say constituencies is equals to, you can see. So I'll say all constituencies. Let me just do this. So I'll say all variable, say variable, all constituencies is equals to that. So I'll get all the list of constituencies. Then I'll come here and say all constituencies where country is the selected and filter, then I load that. Because this is not loaded, then we'll be having it automatically blank, and we can actually clear anything that is there before we do anything. So I'll just also launch our app. So we should not actually load the data, but ensure that we have selected the country before you load the. So our app is launching. Let's see whether it will work. So if I say new, if I come to the constituency, it should be blank. You can see it is actually blank. But whenever I select Kenya, I should be able to get an item here. You see, it is now Nairobi. Whenever I select another Tanzania, you see, I have Tanzania. Whenever I select Kenya, you see, I have Kwanza. Whenever I select Uganda, it clears out. You can see, I can select the constituency name, but whenever I select South Africa, it clears out, and I need to select the new constituency. So that is majorly what we meant by cascading drop-down list. So I'll pause there for today, guys. So if you are watching this video, comment down below and see you in our next series. Bye.